What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of NBA Best Bets here on the Cowbell Kingdom Basketball Zone YouTube channel. I'm your host, Vince Miracle. You guys can follow me on all social media platforms of @VMCenter. Happy New Year's to every single one of you guys. Second show of the new year. I had a great 29th birthday yesterday, so there was no show yesterday on the 5th. A lot of games too. Whew, that would have been scary to get this through. But if you're new to the show, welcome. We're on a heater streak. The last time we were here, we went 4-2 on that 6-game slate. It was pretty solid. I'm getting that Excel done. Like I said, we will have it by Monday of next week. I'm excited about that. But a lot of games today. And the unfortunate part is I made bets this morning, and I was going to do the show this morning. And things kind of got in the way with school and kids and everything like that. And, you know, I was very close to getting a show early, and I wish I did. But now, you know, that's a little bit later. I think it benefits you guys. Just because even though I have my bets in, like, for example, I have Pels plus 4.5 that I made for a unit and a half last night, to hear the news that guys like Steph Curry and Draymond Green are all out, and we hit into today's slate. And looking at the news spread, I think it'll still give you some idea of which way I'm leaning and things like that. But before we get into today's games, and before I start going down the list and how many units we're going to put down on each one of these games, I want to remind everyone that this show is sponsored by FanDuel.com. That's right, guys, FanDuel.com. Whether it's making DFS lineups or going out and using their sports book, be sure to use promo code Kings Court, the name of my Sacramento Kings podcast, Kings Court, and they will match up to $500 of your very first deposit. Also, this show is now sponsored by All Purpose Insurance, API.com. All Purpose Insurance, whether it be leisure, house, auto, whatever it may be, All Purpose Insurance has you covered. Go to allpurposeinsurance.com. Let them know that you found us here at the Cowbell Kingdom Basketball Zone YouTube channel, and they will give you a solid discount on your very first sign up. I talked to the guys over there, and I believe they're gonna waive their entry fee for their insurance, and they give killer rates. Trust me, as someone who grew up with a bad record, and for them to step up the way that they did for me when I was younger, I have a very clean record now, but back when I was a kid, I got a couple tickets. I spent a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, they cover you. All-purpose insurance. They're also presented by Rate Crushers. I think ratecrushers.com would probably be the best way to reach them. I think they're working on their website to where it's all combined into one. I would say go to ratecrushers.com, even though I did the whole read already, but ratecrushers.com would be the place I go to. Now, with that all out of the way, guys, like I said, we are running into this game, or into this day, on a positive note. The last time we were doing this show, I went 4-2. Out of those 6-game slate, 4-2, hit on a 2-unit bet, hit on a 1-unit bet, 3 units all in one day. It was the Memphis Grizzlies being the underdog, and they actually covered. And not only did they cover, but they hit. They got the money line win. They were plus 135 on the day, and we hit that there. So today, we're looking to do the exact same, because we are going to go ahead and jump right on into today's game, where we have the Boston Celtics on the road against the Knicks. And the Knicks are the at-home 2.5-point underdogs. Now, look, guys, I get that the Boston Celtics have their talent, right? They have Schroeder back. They still got Smart running the point guard spot. They did lose out on Peyton Pritchard, so you're going to see a lot of, I think, Romeo Langford in this game. But they only have 9 active players on their team today. 9. They're making the cut, just barely. And the Knicks, they're getting guys back. They get Mitch Rob back. Nerlens Noel may be back. He's going to test it during pregame warmups. You still got Randall. Quickly's back. Burks, RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier. I mean, they have some talent here, and I do think that this game is going to be close. I mean, the over-under on points is 208.5, so it definitely seems like that Vegas knows that this is going to be a close game. Obviously, it's a pick'em, but I think that they're underestimating the home team, and I think that the home team is capable of getting the win. So I have the New York Knicks here at plus 2.5. I'm actually going to take this for a substantial amount. I'm taking this for 2 units. I think at plus 2.5, you're getting a nice bang for your buck for the home team to build that momentum. And I want to see Al Horford versus Julius Randle, because a lot of these players too, for example, Al Horford and Dennis Schroeder were not in the very first matchup against the Knicks earlier this year. They both missed that game. Let's see how this team reacts with Julius Randle going up against someone his own size and seeing everything like that. Like maybe I could be wrong, because if we go and look at the money, right? We go look at the money. It is favored slightly toward the Celtics at 54% of bettors are betting on the Boston Celtics minus 2.5 over the New York Knicks. Now it's still pretty close. Obviously, it's a coin flip. It's a 50-50 split almost. But at 46% of bettors, plus 2.5, I think they're underestimating the fact that they are at home. Both teams are 18 and 20. Both teams can get hot at any time. I just think that the New York Knicks are able to pull it off. I think depth starts to creep in, and that'll pay dividends down the road. I'm excited to see the matchup between Schroeder and Emmanuel quickly. I think that's going to be interesting to watch. And to see if Alec Burks can do what he did in the last game. I believe he had 19.6 rebounds and 4 assists. So if he can build on something like that, get a stop or two, it'd be a very interesting game in the Garden to see the Knicks pull this off. So at plus 2.5, I'm taking it for 2 whole units. And guys, guess what? I really do think that the Knicks have a chance of winning this game. So we are going to do the double dip, and we're going to take the money line here as well. Plus 115, we're taking the New York Knicks for 1 whole unit. We move on to this next game here, and this game I'm not really a huge fan of. The over-under sits at 217.5, and it's the Detroit Pistons on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Grizzlies are dealing with a little bit of health and safety protocols here, as Desmond Bane is expected to be out of this game. You also have Kyle Anderson out of this game, a questionable tag on DeAnthony Melton. But the good news is that they are looking to get Dylan Brooks back in this game, which I think is a huge positive. And for most DFS players, at $6,200 on FanDuel, and the questionable tag next to him, it's worth throwing him in one of your lineups, because if he's going to play, Dylan Brooks is a tough guy. He's a pretty good basketball player as well. He only needs to get you a 31 to make value. I think he gets you a 37 if he plays, especially against this Detroit Pistons team. So I do think this is a good game for a DFS. Now the spread is at 12.5. I'm not a huge fan of the spread. Honestly, this game, no matter whether it's points or spread, whichever one I choose here, it will not make my main ticket. And speaking of my main ticket, guys, I am building a Substack, which will be a paid subscription where you guys will actually get to see the tickets I make every single day. So while I'm telling you the bets that I'm going with here, I'm building a subscription base so you guys can actually see the bets that are making onto my card. While I'm saying, hey, I would do it for this amount of units here on this show, right? I say, hey, we're going to do 2 units here on that. I feel pretty confident. 1 unit there. It's just letting you know where my money is most confident and where I'd feel what actually goes into my ticket and what I actually bet on. You guys are going to be able to see it once I have the paid subscription up for the Substack. And you guys got to follow me on Twitter at VMCenter to see when that gets published. But look, this game, nothing on this game is going to make my slate. But if I had to choose one, obviously, I'm probably going to go with minus 12.5 here for the Memphis Grizzlies. I just think that the size of the Grizzlies is gonna wear onto the Detroit Pistons, who are getting back Isaiah Stewart. Steven Adams is just such a strong guy. I feel like he's a solid play in DFS. Jaren Jackson Jr. at 6,600 is a solid play in DFS. John Morant's going to have to get you a 51 at 10-2. But just this spread, it kind of scares me. But if I had to choose one, obviously I think I'm going to take minus 12.5 for the Grizzlies, even though that is a lot of points. But the over-under on 217.5 kind of intrigues me a little bit. I do believe that we are going to see this go slightly under. And I get it. You're like, what? Slightly under? The Grizzlies don't play that good of defense. They're also going to be missing guys. Don't you think that the Pistons can score some baskets with Cade and all them? I just don't. I really don't believe in this Pistons team now that they've lost Jeremy Grant. They used to be a little bit more competitive when they had Jeremy Grant on their team. And I get it. Sadiq Bey has looked good. Diallo's looked good. But I just don't see the points racking up. I see this game being right around 209, 210. So I take the under on 217.5, but that's just me personally. Again, I wouldn't say my money would actually be on this, but that's just me. 79% of bettors are rolling with minus 12.5 for the Grizzlies, if you guys were wondering that. And a lot of people are going on the over. 88% of bettors are going on the over on 217.5. So I'm a part of the minority here. 12% of bettors are rolling with me already, but 217.5 is what I'm looking at here for the Detroit Pistons versus the Grizzlies. This is the game I was talking to you guys about right here, and it's the Golden State Warriors on the road in New Orleans against the Pelicans. When the morning started, when I woke up this morning, I put a unit and a half down on the New Orleans Pelicans plus 4.5. Now of the news that Draymond Green is out, Stephen Curry's out, Otto Porter Jr. is playing. Andre Iguodala is not on the injury report, and he is expected to play. The minutes that he gets, we really don't know. You could see a lot of Kuminga in this game. Could see quite a bit of Moody. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of Gary Payton II and Jordan Poole. But now the spread is at plus 1.5 to the Golden State Warriors, and which is even a change because prior to recording this show and setting up this beautiful spread that you guys see here, the NBA Best Bets 1/6/2022, setting this all up for you guys, the Warriors were the favorite. And I really think that they're starting to see that the Pelicans are starting to build a lot of momentum. So at minus 1.5, I'm taking this one here as well. I'm going to take that for 3 units. That's right, the second 3-unit bet of this show since premiering on, I believe, 12/14 is when we premiered this show. This is only our second 3-unit bet. We are taking 3 units on minus 120, not minus 1.5, minus 120. So I do believe the Pelicans are going to win. We're taking that for 3 units. We're taking 2 units on minus 1.5. So those are the units that I feel really confident that the Pelicans are winning this game. Minus 120. We're doing that for 3 whole units. That's a big bet, the only second big one that we've ever done here on this show. And at minus 1.5, we're taking that for 2 units. So we are rolling with the home. Again, when the show started, I thought it was going to be a lot of the home underdogs because obviously the Knicks, and then going with the Pels. Big bets on technically the underdogs of the slate, but the Pels just became the favorites right when the show started recording. But we are taking the Pels. Money is starting to sway and is actually swaying in the opposite direction. A lot of people are betting on the Golden State Warriors right now with money line. 77% of bettors are at plus 100 for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it's one of the rare times you get to see the Golden State Warriors at even money when you bet with them. That's pretty intriguing. And 78% of bettors are at plus 1.5 for the Golden State Warriors to win this game. So look, again, I'm in the strong minority here for the money line. I'm only at 23% of people betting with me, and on the spread, only 22% of people are betting with me. Now, maybe they see something that I don't see, but with guys like Josh Hart, a heavy rebounder, Herbert, and a good defender, Herbert Jones, who has been solid for this team as a rookie, I believe he's getting right around 4 stocks per game, which is like 2 steals and 2 blocks per game, or just underneath that. I mean, man, those 2 defenders out there, plus Ingram is back. Who's stopping Jonas Valanciunas down low? I just think that they have some guys that they're able to play with. I like this team here at this value, and they're the home team. So we're gonna roll with the home team here at again minus 123 units. I want to reiterate, man, this is only the second time I've thrown out a 3-unit bet here on this show. 3 units, minus 120, and 2 units on minus 1.5. That's 5 units on one game. Pretty big. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Clippers on the road against the Phoenix Suns. Clippers are expected to get back Nick Batum, but they are still 10.5-point underdogs in this game. And look, there is no DeAndre Ayton for the Phoenix Suns, but there's also no Zubac. You're going to see a lot of coffee for the Clippers and Ibaka, but still, I really don't think that matters. I think when you have Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, and obviously Devin Booker, there's no way that the Clippers are able to keep up with the pace and the tone that the Suns are able to set. And look, Jane Smith and Bismack Biyombo are going to hold it down. I mean, look at this. Bismack Biyombo plays 1 good game and gets signed for the remainder of the season because that's how well he played in that time. I do think you're going to see Smith's, for those who play DFS, I do think you're going to see Smith's minutes go down from being 29 minutes per game because of how well Bismack Biyombo played. They might split that, total split between 20 minutes for one, 20-something minutes for the other. Like, it could be a legit split between the two of them. So, but with that being said, spread being at minus 10.5 for the home Suns, I am rolling with that, I guess. I'll go with 1 unit on that bet. And lastly, we have the San Antonio Spurs on the road against the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers are 5.5-point favorites here at home. They are going to be with Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid, both players expected to play. Minus 5.5 for me. I'm taking this for 1.5 units. Minus 5.5 home 76ers. Now look, guys, that has been our show today. I mean, look at that. We were out, 15-minute show, and you guys get to see a nice, I feel like it's a pretty pretty solid day of bets if you really think about it, man. Like that's some money we have out here on the table. Now, let's go ahead and review before the show is all said and done, before we wrap on up here. So at the top of the show, we took the New York Knicks as the home underdogs at +2.5. We're taking that for 2 units, and then we're also throwing 1 unit. We're doing the double dip here on the Knicks at +115 for 1 unit as well. We're trying to stay away from this game, but we are going to play this here. We do have the Memphis Grizzlies at -12.5 for 1 unit, and honestly, we'll look at the under for 217.5 for a unit. But remember, guys, we are trying to avoid this game. Try to avoid this game. Next up, it's our very first 5-unit bet in a game of our entire lifespan here of NBA Best Bets on this YouTube channel, but it's our second 3-unit bet of the year. 3 big units on -120 for the New Orleans Pelicans, and 2 units on -1.5 for the spread. That's another double dip. I wish we could have done it when they were plus money. I wish you guys could have jumped on that with me and I should have recorded the show earlier. But again, now you guys get to have it with probably about an hour before lock. So good time to start making these bets, and I think it's a good time to have the show when it's closer and we have more news about reports. We have the Phoenix Suns, 1 unit -10.5. We like that there. And then we're going to do 1.5 units on the 76ers at -5.5. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not guaranteeing any wins at all, but this is the way that we are going to be betting it here. Once I have my Substack up and ready for that paid subscription, if you guys want to see my tickets, it will be over there. But if you guys do have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know. Are you riding with me? Are you fading me? I love to hear the opposite ends. I love to have the discussion built up. We can even talk DFS lineups, guys. I'm in for it all. I just love talking about these games and love talking about making money. You can follow this YouTube channel at Cowbell_Kingdom on all social media platforms. Again, my name is Vince Miracle. You guys can follow me at VM Center on all social media platforms. Use promo code KingsCourt if you're using this to bet on FanDuel.com. Shout out to Rate Crushers / API Insurance. And until next time, NBA bettors, good luck to you. And let's keep filling this bag.